Fucking just do it, Paul. Do it, Paul.
This is a lot of pressure.
Just do it.
Welcome to Paul and Patrick's Fantasy Football.
You know those horns that play. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Yeah, we had Paul introduce this one. So we started off with Paul because Paul is the football guru here.
I don't know if guru to accurate.
Okay, well, you know a lot more.
I know more than the average person. I would say that.
Yeah, and I know just the above average casual fan. You know, I guess maybe casual. You can call me a pleb. I don't know. I know some about fantasy football. We're talking about fantasy football, but generally we're going to talk about football. And this is just a draft show. I think so. We're going to start off the first week of August, and from then until the end of the season, we're going to get a little bit of talk every single week about some fantasy football / just NFL talk.
Yeah.
So let's just start off. We're gonna break down the first round of the draft. Just these draft picks.
32 picks, if you're unaware. There are 32 picks in the first round. I'm gonna break down each one of them. We're not gonna go super in depth.
Yeah, this is all Paul's knowledge. I barely know
a ton of time, but
yeah.
We're gonna give you a general sense of how it affects each team, how individual player affects each team, the positive, how they can help to improve that.
And maybe have a little bit of correlating fantasy knowledge as well. That's important. But I just want to start this conversation. We don't have nothing. We don't know anything. This is technically it's Saturday at 1 o'clock in the morning right now when we're recording this. But Aaron Rodgers is, this whole Aaron Rodgers situation.
Incredibly unhappy with the Packers right now.
Which isn't understandable.
You really can't blame him.
And not blame him.
You go and you draft the kid, Gordon Love, out of Utah.
It's a slap in the face.
Last year. You trade up to go get him. Trade up. And
does Aaron Rodgers know about this? No.
Aaron Rodgers is hired. Hey, we're going to go take a kid from Utah State. It just happens. He finds out like the rest of them.
Directly in the mic, Paul. Directly in the mic.
Like, he's a normal human being. Like, he's not Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's not going to go into Canton one day. Like, he hasn't thrown a billion Hail Marys that have all somehow landed in the hands of receivers. Like, he's some mortal. Okay? He finds out like the rest of us. That's insane. Are you kidding me? This guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, he should be pissed off right now.
Yeah. Well, I believe I'm just saying this. You need to calm down there, Paul.
I'm sorry.
Just take a chill.
You told me to exclaim. I'm very much exclaiming right now.
You know, keep an eye out. You know, mic levels. I think this is the first. We do our other podcast, Patrick and Cerebral Palsy, and I think this is the first time our mics have actually been pretty solid. They're not the best. They're not the best. They definitely. We didn't. I just did this by myself, and it sounds a lot better. I'm not picking up on your mic right now, which is pretty cool. But I know you had to exclaim there, and it picked up a little bit on my mic, but not too bad, not too bad. But what I want to say about it is, I believe he wants to do Jeopardy. I'm just saying, $10 million a year, that's not too bad, not too shabby. He shot up the ratings on that fucking show. That's a great job. You're not getting hit every fucking week.
But he's so cool.
You don't have to be physical. You just have to work out like once a day, and that's barely anything. He's great. He's going in the Hall of Fame anyway, you know.
He's so cool and awesome.
He's threatening to retire, and also Denver's talking about, getting him.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later because there's there's
a lot more to discuss about this, but I think instead of sticking ourselves in a stagnant situation, which is currently for the Packers and Rodgers.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
We should probably not follow suit and talk about this draft.
Okay.
Kind of crazy.
Yep. So let's talk about number one pick, and I'll read off the picks again. Oh, let me just preface this by saying we're fucking stupid, and we barely know how to read. So if we mispronounce a name, don't come after us, please. This is the hardest name I've ever said in my life, Trevor Lawrence.
That's pretty difficult.
Didn't get that one out. So Trevor Lawrence, everyone knew he was going to be the first round pick. everyone. I even knew that.
First overall pick.
Yeah, first round, first overall. Whatever, Paul. Doesn't fucking.
I mean, it's kind of a difference.
Yeah, okay. Whatever, Paul.
There's a difference.
You don't gotta be such a motherfucker about it.
Okay.
But I mean, do you want to go off on Trevor Lawrence because
Yeah.
I knew about him. I know,
Well,
good.
Trevor Lawrence checks all the boxes. Every single one. You want accuracy, he's got accuracy. You want athleticism, he's sneakily athletic. You want to be able to throw it with anticipation, which you desperately need in the NFL, he can do that. This guy is prototypical quarterback. It was an easy pick at one. Anyone who's seen it at one and this kid's coming out, you run that pick for the book.
Now, what's the downside? I saw some downside about him. The size. I mean, he's like a lengthy dude. It's not really the greatest for quarterbacks, but you have seen some lengthy quarterbacks. Like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he looks like a lengthy quarterback, kind of. Not really bulky, look a little staunch, like a Russell Wilson-esque type of man. If you kind of get what I'm saying. I mean, I understand the whole build thing.
I mean, ideally you'd like him to be a little bit heftier. I believe he's 213.
Yeah,
I want him to be in like that 220, 230 range.
Yeah.
But I also saw some things where pressure kind of diminished his decision making, and that happens to every quarterback. And it's not really skill; they have to work on that. So I mean, there are some times where he has somebody in his face and he'll make us how to throw something.
The mic, Paul.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I hope you pick up everything you say.
Yeah,
you have to talk directly into the mic.
I apologize. But yeah, this guy is
just a no-brainer first overall pick.
Yes, no-brainer first overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. The Jets, I guess, were kind of hoping last year that he would maybe.
He'd be a Jet, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even it's so. I mean, Sam Darnold is a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, but he's no longer in the New York Jets, and that's a perfect segue to our number 2 overall pick, Zach Wilson out of BYU.
Zach Wilson. Now, we were watching it yesterday, the draft, and watching his highlights, and he's throwing dimes. He's dropping dimes. I mean, dimes on dimes. But he has this, and I pointed this out to you yesterday. He has the same throwing pattern as Josh Allen, and he drags his back foot. He doesn't use it for momentum. And Josh Allen switched. He has I don't know who the quarterback coach is, but he kind of taught him a little bit, use that back foot for power.
The Buffalo Bills did a really good job of helping him,
coaching him up on his throwing technique, and
change his throwing motion almost entirely, and it has helped
tremendously.
His accuracy wasn't as bad as his numbers indicate in college. There were a lot of drops there at Wyoming, but
yeah, he's throwing
the technique needed to be cleaned up. It definitely needed to be cleaned. Yeah, and it's very similar to Zach Wilson, but you see those similar plays that you saw from Josh Allen coming out. It's like he'll scramble out right and just throw back left with his feet not necessarily in the spot that they need to be in, and it's accurate. Kind of asking yourself, how is this possible? It's the arm talent. I mean, there's a throw from his pro day that everyone tried to replicate where he scrambles out left and throws it back the post right, and it's a really impressive throw.
They compared it to the exact same throw that Aaron Rodgers made, and it's kind of like a little bit off the back foot-esque, kind of. It's a rotational throw because all the momentum is moving to one side of the field, so everyone's moving to one side of the field, and then boom, the guy cuts out to the right, completely open, and the quarterback has to change his whole body weight to flick it, over there, and
and he's capable of doing it.
Capable of doing that, and this is I mean, a baby-faced kid.
That is why he's the second overall pick. Now the stats will not impress you in his sophomore year. I believe it was his sophomore year.
Yeah.
10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, not impressive. But he came back with 33 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He improved this last year, and he's now the second overall pick. Let's move to the third overall pick because this one is where all
decisive, and
the drama.
No, listen.
Sorry.
The most important most important reason why he, we're talking about him is because he might be dating Colin Cowherd's daughter, Liv Cowherd. That's the most important thing about him.
Not the fact that he's the franchise quarterback for a team that's won 5 Super Bowls.
And taken third overall. So he hasn't played a lot of games. That's what I know about him. But
he has 17 starts in North Dakota State. I personally
Division
did not love this pick. I like the guy. I like Trevor Lawrence as a person. I'm gonna go off a little bit on Trevor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Trevor Lawrence. Trey Lance. Sorry, Trey Lance.
Sorry, Trey Lance.
Sorry, Trey Lance. You're a good person. I hope you never see this because I'm gonna kind of diminish what you did. His accuracy was just, it wasn't where I wanted to be. Like, listening to the guy, listening to this person, like, I like him as a person, but the accuracy scares me. I saw one where he had a tight end open on wheel route, and he's supposed to put it where the ball is, like, right here, basically. He puts it behind him. Tight end has to adjust, turn the entire body, catch the ball, and then turn back upfield to run. It ended up being a touchdown. Like, that accuracy, that's not going to really improve the things I do like about Trey Lance. His decision making had 0 interceptions. Not many first round picks ever have been able to say that. But also,
it might also be from the lack of games he actually played.
Well, only 17 games.
He's playing in Division 2, which
he is playing in the SES.
It's just, I mean, it's not shitting on him or anything. I mean, it's still.
But you have to be talented to at least play in Division 2, somewhat, because I mean there are a lot of JUCO transfers and some that we'll talk about later on. But he makes quick reads and doesn't just stick on one receiver. A lot of young guys you'll see, they'll just stare down the receiver. He
waits for the first option, or hit to the second option. Or wait, they think he's going to be open, and then they get hit.
Yeah, I saw this play in the snow where he literally goes from left to right, going over probably 4 receivers, and then coming all the way back left to hit his guy in a deep cut.
He looks very athletic. I have to. From what I saw from him, he's very athletic.
He is athletic, and that athleticism is the reason why they were intrigued by him. Personally, I thought it was going to be Mac Jones, simply because he reminds me of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think this is a testament just to the NFL, how they're treating quarterbacks now. Is the Tom Brady style of quarterback is kind of diminishing. The Tom Brady, Matt Ryan.
There are probably several of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely there are going to be people that are still like that, but most people are looking for an athletic quarterback and squat out of the pocket, because now you have, like, if you look at Josh Allen, you're like, oh, Josh Allen's not an athletic man, but I mean, he can run
consistently run for like 30, 40 yards.
Exactly. It's crazy. I mean, he doesn't look like the type of guy,
not at all.
But I mean, that's just what the teams want nowadays, and I think it's going to transition kind of to that. There might be a few guys here and there, but I think that play style is going to damper out, which is kind of sad because I'm ready.
Yeah, is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT, unfortunately. I kind of like Tom Brady now.
Let's talk about someone who is pretty much the antithesis of Tom Brady in terms of athletic ability. That's Kyle Pitts. Now, this guy is listed as a tight end, but he is not a tight end. Don't let that position designation fool you. Don't watch this guy. It's utterly insane. If you haven't seen what he's capable of, I mean, what are you doing? This guy might be the best. I could argue he's the best athlete, and that's pretty big praise considering who we're gonna mention here pretty soon. But he just has the ability to get in and out of cuts really quickly. He was drafted 4th overall by the Atlanta Falcons. They have Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley, 2 Alabama wide receivers for the tight end, and that team is going to be insane.
Now we don't know if Julio is staying. I mean, Paul's convinced Julio's staying.
I'm convinced Julio.
But they said, Julio's up if anyone wants to get them, we'll hear your trade offers. I think
you're gonna pay for two first round picks for a potential 3 years of premium play, and that's maybe 3 years premium play. So no, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But Kyle Pitts, man, that guy is.
Yeah, he's a very. It's weird. I mean,
he has wide receiver.
Yeah,
he has wide receiver. He's built like a tight end.
What is it? The Madden, the spectacular catchability.
Yes.
He seems like that type of man. Like I know it's not exactly like him, but I mentioned this yesterday. He seems like a Calvin Johnson, just with his stature and his athleticism.
I don't honestly, if there's ever really been a tight end. I mean, maybe Tony Gonzalez, maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, just like the stature. I'm trying. It's not a direct comparison. I'm not saying he's gonna be like Calvin Johnson. He's Calvin Johnson. He's a one in a billion player. Like there will be another Calvin Johnson one day, but we'll probably be dead.
Hopefully.
Or maybe genetic.
To not see someone just surpass Calvin Johnson.
God, he is. I mean, he played big too, and he.
We can't talk about Calvin Johnson. Yeah, no, we can't talk about Calvin Johnson.
We should keep. Number 5.
We're going
Cincinnati
number
Bengals.
5. Cincinnati Bengals. And what I love about this, what I absolutely love about this, is Joe Burrow played for the LSU Tigers, and I can 100% guarantee you he was in Zach Taylor's ear, saying, "Hey, you need to go get this guy.
Go get my boy.
Get my boy.
Go get my boy."
I
have a connection.
This guy had 20 touchdowns and was better than Justin Jefferson on tape, at least, in 2019. And Justin Jefferson was in the running for NFL Rookie League, and he was better. Jamar Chase was better.
We're talking about Jamar Chase. Yeah, we didn't mention his name yet. No, it's not. Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Out of LSU.
Out of LSU. Wide receiver. Extremely explosive. Runs great routes. Just everything you want in a wide receiver.
Is that connection with Joe Burrow already? That is a huge thing, because you got to feel for your quarterback.
Yes.
And vice versa. You have a feel for your wide receiver. You're gonna know what he can do.
I mean, go watch the national championship. Go watch that game.
They tore it up.
Yeah.
Back to back, and
I
love you watching this because I knew this happened, and you're like, who are they gonna take? Who are they gonna? So the Miami Dolphins. I'm selecting number 6, Jalen Waddle, and this is another situation where Tua at Alabama was throwing to Waddle at Alabama, and they have that connection already.
The absolute lunacy of this is that was their 4th receiver 2 years ago. On their depth chart.
God, I hate Alabama so much.
Yeah.
Like, why they have to be so good?
So this guy, I'm gonna say this about a couple of this first round, but he's really a gadget type. Everyone's looking for Tyreek Hill, and that guy has this sort of ability.
Yeah, the Tyreek Hill-esque. Everyone's comparing him to Tyreek.
He's got punt return ability, kick return ability. He can play slot. You can line him up out wide. He's very versatile. I can't wait to see the jet sweeps and everything that Brian Flores does with Waddle, considering they have Tua as well. Mike Gesicki's there.
Yeah, it's going to be a much improved team.
Yes, along with Devontae Parker, who looks to be coming into his own.
Yep.
A little bit later in his career than you'd like, but sometimes you don't get it when you're younger. I just pick up on things. Idiosyncrasies and stuff.
I have a little side point here. I know this is completely irrelevant, but he has the kindest eyes I've ever seen. Like, just a kind person. I know it's so very weird because he seems like he's a very athletic man, but he's just like you just look into his eyes and you're like, this is a kind person. But hopefully not like Tyreek and doing some bad stuff. All right, let's move on to number 7. This is our pick, Paul.
Yeah.
We're Detroit Lions fans.
Okay.
If you don't know, I mean, we're in Detroit. We're fucking. We love the Lions, and I was happy with this pick. I mean, our GM was happy with this pick.
Selected 7th overall, Penal Sewell.
Yeah, I cannot pronounce his name, and I won't probably be able to pronounce it for another year. But we solidified our line, which is nice. Now we have three very good linemen.
We have 3 positions on an offensive line. The guaranteed starter, a person that we know is going to be a bedrock. I mean, we paid Taylor Decker, and we might kick him to right tackle.
Yeah,
because of how athletic this kid is.
His tapes are crazy.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the one the play you showed me last night, where he's basically he initially goes to block inside and help with the defensive tackle. Sees that he's not needed there, and decides I'm going to come all the way back.
He kicks out so far left.
This guy is not a small person. Yeah. He's 325 pounds. Does not play like.
Oh, he moves like a gazelle. So fast.
Moves like a gazelle. Kicks out left. Helps his tight end to stop the defensive end from coming around in a little swoop and trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. It's utterly insane.
From watching that play, his vision is off the chart. His helmet, you're kind of you have the blinders on a little bit, and so keeping your head on a swivel is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his head on a swivel, but he's able to pick up stuff on his side, and he's like, oh, I don't need to be here. Throw a hand on, and even I've seen some like double blocks. He's very his hand placement's not the best. That's what I've seen.
I've seen a little bit of footwork issues that kind of scare me, but you can clean that up.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive player, which is phenomenal.
He's a grinder. He works, man. He works. He does not stop. He's not content just saying, okay, I can stay here and I don't need to help anyone. Like a lot of tackles.
Just a little fancy talk here. This might shoot the draft stock up for a little a swift action in the backfield because he might do well. I mean, you look.
Swift.
Yeah, so if you looked at Dallas, their line and how solid their lines have been.
This guy I like and I compare to Jason Peters. He played for Philadelphia longest time. He was a former tight end converted to tackle. Very similar skill set. Very, very similar work. This guy turns into Jason Peters. We're all the better for it.
Yep. Oh, let's not go off on this huge tangent. Detroit line.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this.
Very nice. Okay, let's move on to number 8, Carolina Panthers. J.C. Horn.
So J.C. Horn is the best man coverage corner in this draft. I personally thought this is gonna be another corner. Talk about him later, but I like J.C. Horn. I think he's got good instincts in terms of getting the ball. He plays off coverage really well too. Surprisingly, there aren't many flaws in his game. I would say the one thing is maybe he takes too many chances. Sometimes cost him. But, I mean, you can live with that. If you can live with him missing assignment once, twice, just because he sees something, says, okay, I can go do this, what they're going to do, and he did that wrong, then, I mean, you can live with that. You can live with that. Because he makes plays.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I mean, I'm just going off what I saw some tape, It did show some mistakes, and hope for the best for this kid. I mean, they must have saw something in them, They didn't see. I'm guessing in this next pick, who you thought was going to go first?
Yes. So Patrick Surtain Jr.
And he went to the Denver Broncos at number 9.
Out of Alabama, this guy, I was frankly, if he'd been there at 10, pretty sure Dallas would have taken him because he's a perfect fit for Dan Quinn's system. He is the best zone coverage corner in this draft. I mean, he reminds me of Richard. Really does.
Yeah.
Where it's one side of the field, he can shut it down. I'm actually really, really excited to see him in this Denver scheme because they have pass rushers, and a lot of people say that you need front end and the back end to work in tandem. So if your pass rushers aren't getting home, you need your corners to be on an island, be able to take away people. And considering the division they play in with Kansas City and Vegas and oh gosh, the Chargers and you got Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. And,
they're in a pretty tough division there.
Yes, it's not going to be easy, but if they can get help, yeah, it's going to be nice.
Well, and God damn it, how many Alabama people have gone? We're at number 10 to the Philadelphia Eagles, and
they traded up from 12 to 10 to select Heisman Trophy winner Devonte Smith.
And this is your opinion of the best receiver in this draft?
This, in my opinion, is the most complete receiver.
I'd have to agree from what I saw. Yeah,
I think he has everything that you want. Route running ability, it's there. Ability to catch the ball, there. Spectacular catches. It's there. It's everything is there. Speed is there. The only thing that I would say about him is he's 170 pounds, which is, yeah. And he doesn't play like it, not at all.
He plays big?
Yes.
Yeah, because you go up against Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen's fucking big.
This guy reminds me of, I'd say Steve Largent. His route running ability is on point. Really is. I mean, you want to play to exemplify everything Devonte Smith is, go to the national championship against Georgia. Tua gets sacked on first down, and they missed 2 field goals, and Tua just puts it on a line. Devonte Smith brings it in. At that point, Devonte Smith was the 3rd receiver on that team. He makes such a big play, not being really a good piece, and decides, hey, I could either come out with Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and be a 2nd-round pick, or I could come back and tear this thing up, which he did. Over 20 touchdowns. He had an insane set. He had 200+ yards in the first half of that national championship against Ohio State.
And I mean, Philadelphia.
They need help.
Fulham, I don't pronounce his name correctly, but I mean that's the number 1 receiver there, and he's decent, and he had a pretty good stretch last year. But I mean, it wasn't towards the end of the season he wasn't doing anything because he wasn't connecting with Wentz, and now with Wentz gone, on Minneapolis, you know, they need
Hurts needs help, man. If Hurts is your guy, get him help. I mean, I didn't agree with getting rid of Doug Peterson. I really didn't. He won you a Super Bowl. You hadn't won a championship since 1960. You want to complain about several bad years. Your quarterback was hurt. Carson Wentz is a good quarterback, and you're going to see that this year. He stays healthy.
Yeah,
look out for Indianapolis. But
with that solid defense.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to number 11. The Bears.
It feels wildly appropriate, and I keep telling myself this, that Justin Fields goes to the Chicago Bears. Because out of any team in the NFC North that I hate, it's the Chicago Bears. I don't mind the Packers. I actually like the Vikings. I like the Packers and Vikings. Right? Being a person who is biologically supposed to hate them, I don't. But the Bears, I certainly do. And the fact that they traded up, and they need this to work out. If Justin Fields does not work out, which I don't want to root against the kid. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but
out to Ohio State.
He went to Ohio State. He transferred to Ohio State.
Michiganders in Ohio. If you don't know, Michiganders and Ohioans. Is that their stupid fucking name?
I don't care. We don't care.
Michiganders hate Ohio people. You know, they don't even deserve it. We don't even want to talk about them. They're a little brother of how many Ohio people, if they listen to this, Paul, would piss them off.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Michigan.
Yeah.
There's a huge rivalry between Ohio. and it's
You can stay on
justified
your side of the border.
because Michigan is a better state. I
Yeah.
mean, we're surrounded by lakes. We're a beautiful state.
We have
This would-
two pieces. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. We're in two peninsulas. Get the hell out of here. We have Upper
Get
Peninsula,
on,
Lower
get on
Peninsula.
that level. You
Get on
can't.
that level. You can't. You can't. You're
because
not
you're
surrounded
just-
by lakes.
Yeah, you're landlocked, son.
Yep. No, exactly, landlocked. Are they landlocked? I don't even know because
Well,
I don't even
pretty
care
much.
about that stupid
Eh,
state.
Except for like.
Okay,
area,
so
I believe.
sorry, we're going off on a tangent about how stupid Ohio is.
Yeah.
It is pretty stupid.
But Cleveland does have like.
I mean, they are pretty.
They
pretty cool.
stole it from us. They
Yeah.
stole it from us.
I mean, they have some cool stuff, you know, a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Represent.
That's your point. You know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but whatever. It's yeah.
Okay, but Justin Fields.
Anyway,
I want to talk about Justin Fields just a little bit. He can make every throw, and I think he unrightfully got pushed down a lot of draft boards. I think he's very talented, but I haven't seen anyone from Ohio State really produce ever, pretty much. So I'm eager to see whether he's able to really adjust the NFL speed defenses. You're going from Big Ten to professionals, and this is everyone can play. Everyone can. Some of those things he needs to. The accuracy concerns me. Concerns me at times, but I mean he's able to throw with anticipation. He's very athletic, but that accuracy very similar to Trey Lance. The accuracy just a bit. Gotta work on that. Footwork. Throwing motion. We're gonna move on here to the Dallas Cowboys, and he took Micah Parsons out of Penn State.
and is this the guy you were talking about with the maybe attitude issue?
Yeah, I mean,
Or you're a little skeptical on him?
I heard rumblings about maturity being an issue, and
I mean, just looking at him, just saying he kind of. I mean, just basing off a face of an ad, like I don't know, a descriptive face. You know, trying to describe someone's face. You know, he looked like a kind of had some attitude issues. But you know, that's just looking at someone's face. You know, I look like a douche. Guess what? I am a douchebag. But yeah, I mean, he looks good. I mean, he really does look good.
he attacks the line of scrimmage. He's a very instinctful
he really
linebacker. Yeah, I do like him. You do like him as a playmaker, but yeah, the character concerns that scares me. With I don't mean to harken back to our draft pick, but Penny Sewell was team captain, leader in the locker room. Brad Holmes was very exuberant about drafting him, being able to draft. So have a guy maybe on the opposite end of the spectrum who I believe opted out 2020, which understandable where he had been drafted, where he got drafted. Understandable. You'd like to see him on the field. I mean, obviously, you don't want to push anyone into a situation they don't want to be in, but I really like to see a leader like that be on the field, especially when they don't have the amount of talent they had several years ago.
Well, one thing I want to say is, I mean, these are kids.
Yes.
So everyone has the ability to change, and I really hope he does change for the better. They have to Stan Lee. What's it, the linebacker that just retired?
Oh, Sean Lee.
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee.
My apologies. But yeah, he just retired. They need to go that. They need
Yeah.
they need a defense bad. I mean, their defense is
their
terrible
defense
last
was
year,
historically bad.
and hopefully he brings something to the table for them and helps solidify that defense a little bit.
I mean, they have three really solid linebackers now, and Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch, Parsons.
Yeah, and that offense is pretty high powered. So
Yeah, that offense is going
they
to
can
put up
hopefully balance it out.
30 to 40 points a game.
Let's go on. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay, so this is, I love Penny Sewell. I love him. He's a great pick. But this guy, Rashawn Slater. I'm sorry,
Don Slater.
Rashawn Slater. Man, if
This
he
was-
doesn't impress you, you turn on an Ohio State game against Chase Young, second overall pick last year, and he holds his own. And look at the Senior Bowl practices. He had a really good Senior Bowl. It helped him and it bolstered him. to this 13th overall spot. This is a great selection by the Los Angeles Chargers. They needed this desperately, and he just fell into it.
You know how big he is? He's a left tackle.
I believe he's 6. He's pretty big.
Yeah.
6'5" or 230.
You said that if we didn't get Sewell,
if we didn't get Sewell,
be 100%.
I would be 100% fine with it. I think this is the best left tackle, in my opinion. Maybe not elite level, but he's going to be very, very good.
Yeah, consistent.
Yes.
You want that consistent.
Consistent.
All offensive linemen, you just want consistent.
I don't want to say that Penei Sewell's like kind of a not a reach. I'm struggling to find the words, but maybe someone you're basing more on talent than production, but his production was there. But Slater's he's so consistent. His footwork is on point, and it showed in that Ohio State. To go up against Chase Young, who absolutely dominated, one defensive rookie of the year, play in and play out, just utterly neutralize him. That is so impressive.
Yeah, I think what you're looking for, like, kind of, is Penei Sewell has the little X factor, you know, and where
the X factor.
Yeah, where
Slater is going to
be consistent. He has his footwork down. He has his hand placement down. He knows what to do in every play, and he's not that X factor. He doesn't have that X factor, and that's not a terrible thing, because it's the consistency sometimes is better than being able to pick up a double block, or like being a little
having that athleticism. Penei Sewell doesn't necessarily have that ability to kick out like Penei Sewell.
Yeah, exactly. So like a corner blitzes off.
There was going back to Penei Sewell. I'm sorry, I have to do this.
We have to.
There was a screenplay that he goes. The running back ends up catching the ball, and he runs out from his tackle spot, and ends up neutralizing the nickel corner, who was the guy that was in the way. And it's utterly insane, the fact that he gets there. Because it's like you're a 325-pound lineman, and you pretty much running like a 4.6. Utterly insane.
All right, well, we're going to move on to number 14, which is the New York Jets again. And they selected, we're going to say his initials. I'll try to pronounce his name. Alihar Vera Tucker, or AVT.
Okay, so the Jets traded up for that 14th spot. They were supposed to initially pick 23rd. This was the Vikings pick. But they traded up to go get this guy from UFC. Now, he's very lengthy. He's a very big man. Pretty much.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Pretty much, this is just the security pick. You're drafting Zach Wilson second overall. Now, last year, you drafted Mekhi Becton, another big guy of Louisville. Guys, I'm always. They're going to kick this kid in the guard, and he's going to be maybe an all-pro guard, depending on how much he works at it. The left side's going to be really secure going forward. Coach Jets. They're going to be able to run the football. Zach Wilson's going to be protected, and if you give him all day to throw, he's going to find the open receiver regardless.
It's a good pick for the Jets. I was trying to pull up his picture. It's just I couldn't.
This is a good pick. A guy, again, they're going to kick in the guard. Play tackle, USC. He's very versatile. Good pick, right?
Now let's move on to number 15, which is, I think it's a good place for him, especially with.
Oh, this is a scheme fit. Scheme fit all day.
Perfect fit. Mac Jones to the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick.
I legitimately thought Kyle Shanahan was coming up to go get Mac Jones. I was so impressed with his. This has accuracy.
Yeah, the I guess the downside everyone's saying is the athleticism, but
he doesn't. He's not someone who throw on the.
But I mean, how many Super Bowls did New England win with a man who didn't want to run outside the pocket?
Lowest 40 at the combine.
Looks like a straight gump. Looks like a straight gump. Yeah, I think it's a great scheme. Bill Belichick is going to do pretty well with it.
This is who Bill Belichick wanted.
He wanted
Gushing over.
Yep. And I mean, obviously, not their man.
Oh, not long
Not their
term.
man. You know, it was like, yeah, short term, yeah.
I mean, he had a
Developed.
plethora of receiving talent at Alabama. Obviously, mentioned
Yeah.
2 that have gone this draft. There were 2 that went first round last year. He had a lot of receiving talent, and we mentioned another offensive weapon later for Alabama Crimson Tide, who also won this draft.
Yeah, so he did have a lot of weapons. It's fair to say, I mean, you know, it's not all on him, but he's very good.
He had 1 year
Throwing dimes.
just really productive. If you can go find him talent on the wide receiver position, which they spent, the Patriots did $129 million free agent, most ever. So looking to bolster that team. Might be a good overall pick. Considering they don't often pick top 50. But moving on.
Number 16 is Arizona Cardinals. Xavier Collins out of Tulsa. Linebacker.
Okay, so this guy has a really, really impressive story. So he's a junior college transfer who was flashing in junior college, didn't have any Division I offers, and ends up going to play at Tulsa. Grew up in Oklahoma. Really instinctful. Really has good instincts in the linebacker position. Extremely fast. Like the way he plays. He plays big. He is big. Got pass rush ability. I like this.
Very, very sorry.
I like this guy. Also, good ball skills. Good ball.
He's a smart. Who'd you compare him to in the league?
I mean,
this is like a general comparison. It doesn't have to be exact or anything. Just give me an idea.
Maybe even more like athletic. Like like an actual stand-up linebacker. Between defensive and outside linebacker. Put him in either or. Do really well. What I like about this pick is you drafted Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson last year, who's a tweener in between safety and linebacker, runs like a safety, plays linebacker, and you have him. You have this guy Collins, or yes, Davian Collins, and you have J.J. Watt, as well as the previously mentioned Chandler Jones.
I totally forgot about
coming off the ends.
That linebacker.
So that defense is going to be legitimate.
Ooh, that linebacking core is.
They need help defensively, defensive backs. They did take Murphy a couple years ago in the first round. Second round.
You know what Arizona runs? They run a 3-4, 4-3.
I believe they run a 4.
Wondering if they're gonna have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gonna have them as a linebacker.
Yeah, I think they'd stand up Chandler Jones. Or to be honest.
Yeah, the speed. That should make sense. Yeah, but all right, let's move. Number 17, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Now this is the first kind of shock, the draft, and the unknown Raider, as some people have coined it.
But it's Alex Leatherwood.
Okay, so he won
offensive tackle.
Yes, he won the award for best offensive lineman 2020. A lot of people didn't have first round grades on him. Some people really liked him, and obviously the Vegas Raiders liked him a lot. He does fit what they like to do, which is have a big mauler tackle, help in run support. He's not extremely athletic, but times he can run over people. Prevent them from doing what they want to do. When you're that big, and he's big, don't think, oh, just because he's not a first round pick, or a lot of people didn't see him as a first round pick, he wasn't talented. He's extremely talented. Again, best offensive lineman in the country. Won that award. Won that because this pushes people out of the line of scrimmage. Now the consistency is not there. Sometimes the footwork is not there. It needs to be cleaned up. Like, got a coaching staff, general manager, who's seen best offensive. And this is could be a good pick.
And on to number 18, the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, so this is the second first round pick.
Jalen Phillips.
They take another Jalen. Now, a lot of people say this is the best pass rusher. I would agree. He has concerns, and the concerns of the injuries. He had several concussions throughout his playing days at the youth. But before that, I believe even a couple of high school had to medically retire from football back in 2019. Came back. Now he has all the talent in the world. He has everything you want. He's extremely lengthy. He's fast off the ball. He's got good pass rush.
Can he stay healthy?
Whether or not he can stay on the field.
And if he does,
you're getting an elite pass rusher.
Yeah, you got the ceiling.
18.
There's no ceiling.
Yeah,
you know,
there's no ceiling.
Crazy.
That's a 20 sack guy if he can stay on the field.
Okay. Number 19, the Washington football team, hopefully to be named a different team soon. You know, so it's not just a bland name. They selected a linebacker, Damon Davis, out of Kentucky.
Damon Davis, I do like Damon Davis. I think he very similar to Collins, has good ball skills. I really like his pursuit. I really do. Very fierce. Yeah,
Not a lot you can say about it. He's just a very
I feel like I'm repeating myself when I'm talking about linebackers.
It's a very similar play style for most linebackers. I mean,
again, he does have really good ball skills. Like I've seen him cover tight ends, even some wide receivers. I mean, he's extremely fast, man. Very good instinct. Again, very good instinct. Again, I feel
Let's
like
move on. Let's move on to 20. The New York Giants took this from Chicago. This was their trade earlier.
Yes, this was for the Bears to come up to 11.
I always say his name wrong.
Darius
Tony.
Okay, so I did mention I'm gonna say everyone's looking for Tyreek Hill. Everyone's looking for the next Tyreek Hill. This guy is a gadget player. This guy is exactly what they need. He ended up signing Kenny Galladay to a long-term deal. They have Sterling Shepard there. They have Darius Slater there. They have Evan Ingram. They have a lot of weapons. This guy is a gadget player. This guy is someone who can blow the top off a defense.
Yeah, but I want to just point out, before Kenny Galladay went there, the receiving core was very mediocre, even if not even flat. Yeah, it was like there's nothing special about it. They did their job, but they didn't do it to any expert ability. You know, so having Kenny G there with a G guarantee, goddamn love you.
Yeah, you have a guy who can go up and get it, and drafting
plays very large.
Yeah, drafting this kid out of Florida.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fail saying his name as well. Kadarius Toney, out of Florida. Having this guy who can take the top off the defense. It's gonna be hard for a lot of teams to scheme for this guy. You also have to deal with Kenny Galladay for him, and you're gonna have to have two guys on him. You have two guys on him. Means you might have to have two guys on Evan Ingram, because Evan Ingram's very talented as a tight end.
You're gonna have to also watch.
That's a better comparison to Kyle Pitts. But Kyle Pitts is more, which is crazy.
Definitely gonna be better. But what I was saying about Daniel Jones is that you also
this
gonna
is
have to watch out.
Year. This is other.
Yeah, he needs to prove. He needs to prove.
I mean,
he has a lot of hype behind him.
Dave Gettleman gave up a lot to go get him. He wants Daniel Jones to work out. This is a pick for that.
But yeah, Daniel Jones, he does have a little bit of athleticism.
He does.
He can scramble out of the pocket,
yes.
and you have to watch. I think it's a good pick.
Indeed.
I really do think it's a good pick. They needed one.
They need someone with that speed.
Yeah, because Kenny would be in the backfield. Now we're gonna talk about your boy.
Oh man,
we're talking about your boy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but hold on. Minneapolis Colts, Michigan. It's an edge rusher, and it's your boy.
Quiddy Pray.
Quiddy Pray.
No, I'm sorry, Quiddy Pay. I'm sorry, I said Pray.
Pay.
I keep saying Pray,
Jesus.
but it's Pay. It's
Quiddy. You know your own boy, Paul.
Pay. I'm so sorry.
I was a huge Michigan fan.
Yes, but turn on the Minnesota game. That's all I have to say. Turn on the Minnesota.
Yeah,
he took that over in the fourth. He won us that game. We sucked. We sucked. We were awful. Joe Milton, go to Tennessee. Don't want you. We don't need you. Go to Tennessee.
They're solidifying that defense there, dude. Holy crap.
Yes. You have DeForest Buckner. You have three main pieces on that defense that I think could be really, really good playmakers. I mean, DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, and now pretty just awesome. I
know you could talk about him for.
Yes, it's good. Yes. I want to say this. I really like the way he works. He needs to work on pass rush moves. He needs to get the swim down, spin move. Because right now all he has is the bull rush, but he's very raw. Coach this kid up. Coach him up.
Yeah.
He seems like a leader. Yeah, he was named team captain. An honor bestowed to the best and the brightest
in the world.
In the world.
I just want to point a little side note here. Watching the Apple here because they might be doing some work here. Carson Wentz in the backfield.
This AFC South is gonna be kind of crazy.
So excited! I'm so excited.
Speaking of the AFC South,
we have at 22 the Tennessee Titans selected Caleb Farley. I see this is I suck. Farley.
Caleb Farley. Okay.
Virginia Tech.
So he's had 2 back surgeries. This is a top 10 talent. This guy would have been the first cornerback off the board. Probably at 8 to Carolina had he not had the medical. This is the best corner in this, without a doubt. In my opinion, best corner in this. He plays press. He plays man. He plays off. I mean, everything that you want to see. Extremely fast. Instinctual. Like he'll find the ball. He's a ball hawk. He really is. Despite not playing in 2012.
Opted out for COVID.
And with the back surgeries came a couple months ago.
Left some questions. People's eyes, but
there were people who weren't at all concerned about it.
So taking out the back injury and then the COVID opt out, you think he's the top 10 pick this year?
He would have been the top 10 pick this year. He would have been the first corner.
Yeah.
He's that talented. He is that special.
Damn.
This guy is legit.
Can stay healthy.
And yes. If he can stay healthy. Again, like Jalen Phillips, if he can stay healthy.
So this is a trade. So the Minnesota Vikings
traded
from
back.
Seattle via the Jets.
Yes.
Out of Virginia Tech, it's Christian Darsaw. Darsaw? Fuck.
Darsaw.
Darsaw. Shout out Christian.
Yes, we're so sorry that we're butchering your name right now. Yes, he is on.
Fuck.
He is a big boy, man. He's a big boy. He can kick your ass. You can kick my ass. But yeah, I really like him. I really do like him. He plays the left tackle position like you're supposed to play the left tackle position. Kind of hard to move because he's so big.
Yeah.
And he's more athletic than a lot of people give. Again, I feel like I'm going to say, I've been saying them for a lot of these guys, but it is true about a lot of these guys. Footwork is my main concern.
Yeah. What do you think this bodes for Mr. Dalvin Cook in the backfield?
Really well if they hit on this, because they can, let's say he doesn't play left tackle, doesn't play tackle right. Yeah, you can kick into guard.
Pittsburgh Steelers, and I actually love this pick. I mean, it's a solid pick. It's the Harris, running back.
Alabama. I did mention that we were going to talk about more Alabama offense. We are talking about more
Just keep
Alabama.
churning them out, dude.
I legitimately thought they would take a tackle here. Several that were available would fit well here. They decided to go running back. They lost James Conner. This guy, a lot of people like him, Le'Veon Bell, and why they're drafting because he has the ability to catch the ball in the back. He has the ability to get up the field, use his blocks to find space where it really isn't much space. He is also similarly built to Le'Veon Bell when he's coming out. Le'Veon did lose like 25 pounds out, but they're very similar in terms of stature. 230, 5, and I like Najee Harris.
Yeah, I mean, like most teams,
I like this pick. I would have liked to see them take an offensive lineman. There are a couple probably already that got taken today. Jalen Mayfield of Michigan, Blue. Devon Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. I would probably either one of those guys be. I'm not going to disagree with Najee Harris. But speaking of running backs, we're gonna move forward to the Jacksonville Jaguars
at 25,
and we have a very similar theme being set here, and it's college teammates being put on the same NFL team. Had that happen twice in this draft already, and it's the third time, except they're drafted in the same year. Trevor Lawrence gets reunited with his running back Travis Etienne.
Yeah, it's so easy to pronounce.
A lot of people really like Travis Etienne. I like Travis Etienne. A comparison would be at best Alvin Kamara. He has that skill set.
Oh, that's a solid connection.
They have James Robinson there, which it surprised me. I thought they might go defense. I thought they might look at a tackle. There were really good tackles still on the previous, and you want to protect Trevor Lawrence, but this is a good guy to put on the field and have two backs out. College.
Okay, well, let's move on to 26. Cleveland Browns selected Greg Newsome out of Northwestern.
Second Northwestern prospect drafted the first round. First time that's happened. Draft era.
Very solid team last. I mean, from what I saw, but it was a short season.
The Cleveland Browns, like this is totally insane, and I'm saying this, but it's hard to find places where they need help. But I mean, this is a really good pick because you get someone opposite Ford out of Ohio State that you took a couple years ago. Guy that can come in and produce right away. Only had one career interception, but was always around the football. Had a ton of pass breakup. Very good player. Very good player. I love this pick.
I love this pick. Just for their defense, because their offense is very high powered, high octane offense.
Yes, they need help on defense, and like I previously mentioned, the front seven and the back defensive backs have to work in you. This helps them do that with Clowney and obviously, oh gosh, yeah, obviously Miles Garrett playing time.
Yeah.
Miles
You
Garrett.
blanking on Miles
Well,
Garrett?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm
It's
a bit
fine.
tired. Yeah, I've been up. I haven't ate.
Diabetes. No, I wasn't have. Okay. Well, let's move on here. To the Baltimore Ravens. Out of Minnesota, they selected wide receiver Rashad Bateman.
Okay, so for whatever reason, Baltimore can't seem to get receivers in that door. I don't. They keep scheduling free agents. They had Juju Smith-Schuster in there. They had Kenny Galladay in there. They couldn't get anyone to
Crazy.
sign with them. Can't. They got Sammy Watkins, but this is a really good, solid wide receiver. I thought it might slip in the second round, but he gets pushed off the board because of need. They need this type of player. A lot of people thought Elijah Moore, but that wasn't the need. They need a solid, go up and get it, run your route. Not a person who's gonna take top off the defense. They have that guy. They have Hollywood. But they need a solid in between the numbers.
Red zone.
Yes.
Type of. Well, move on to number 28. The New Orleans Saints selected Peyton Turner of Houston, an edge rusher.
I love this pick. Guy was extremely productive. Always around the football. This put Marcus Davenport on notice. They traded up 28 to go get Marcus Davenport 14 overall. They're essentially saying you're not doing well enough. This guy, Hayden Turner, everything you want pass rush. Fell because production's not there. But what I will say about this, he's always around the football. Always around.
Great. The defense is pretty nice.
And
sorry.
I mean they put him on the inside. I mean, he used to play with Ed Oliver now in Buffalo. He used to put them next to each other. Really good player. Really good player. Watch this.
Yeah, and their defense is.
This guy might be
pretty well.
a low key potential defensive rookie of the year. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Saying is their defensive been doing pretty well the last few years.
Mario Davis, you have Cam Jenkins.
Yeah, and their offense is taking a hit without Drew Brees. Yeah. In my opinion,
you need a runner made for Lattimore. I like this pick. They need pass rush. Like I said, the Marcus Davenport thing hasn't really worked out, and this is really putting them on notice.
Okay, well, at number 29, the Green Bay Packers selected Eric Stokes out of Georgia.
Okay, so I believe if Rashad Bateman had been there, this would have been Bateman. But it wasn't. So they drafted what was best for the Green Bay Packers. And this guy was initially track star, extremely fast, really good man coverage. Had to work more on his own, finding the ball, but tools are there, man. Tools are there. If you can just mold him and have a guy, Jair Alexander out of Louisville. I feel like I've been saying Louisville a lot, but Jair Alexander is a really good corner, and he's going to learn a lot from him. Sky's the limit.
Oh, I forgot how to pronounce this next name, but the Buffalo Bills at 30 selected Gregory Rousseau, yes, I believe, of Miami.
Okay, so this is a guy who would have been a top 10 pick if he was in the 2020 draft, 19 draft. I believe he opted out. Well,
did,
and really the Senior Bowl hurt him. He went to the Senior Bowl. He didn't look good. Frankly, didn't look good. And you kind of went back and you looked at the I don't know. I think I disconnected the mic.
Oh no.
Oh, snap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
Paul's looking for his little.
Yeah, I'm looking for the key to see if it's.
Yeah,
I apologize to anyone. Or
anyone.
anyone.
Anyone's the right terminology.
Anyone. But Gregory Rousseau, this guy, not extremely athletic. Ran in like the 4.7s, but I mean the production's there. 15.5 sacks and 20.
So it could be a very sneakily good steal
yes.
for
very, very good pick.
Underperforming Bills defense, who
Yes,
was supposed to be top 5, top even 3, 2, 1 even, and they did not
produce like they were supposed.
And if they did, they would have won a few games there, and they might have hit it a little bit. My favorite player, Joshy Javelins, baby. I love Josh Allen so.
Yeah, but I like this pick, just because they need help. They did not get after the quarterback last year. They need help on the defensive backfield, but I really like this because they do have Edmonds. Edmonds is a on linebacker. Goes anywhere you damn well please.
Okay, so we're almost rounding this out here. At 31, the Baltimore Ravens from Kansas City pick, I guess. They selected Jason Owe.
Yes.
Owe. Out of Penn State. Now,
the stats for this guy, this is not necessarily production over potential. The potential pick. The numbers on him are ridiculous. 6'5", 257, ran a 4.46. 40. that dude moves. That dude moves. Okay.
Crazy.
And he only had 1 sack senior year.
Damn.
Only 1 sack. But you watch, I believe it was the Senior Bowl. Close. Every single time. Just close. He was there. Disruptive. Extremely disruptive. Baltimore needs disruptive pass rush. Keep losing them.
Because
they keep walking out the
quarterback in the pocket, comfortable in the pocket, it's never a good thing.
And they keep walking them out. I don't know what's wrong with Baltimore. But
yeah, it's crazy. Having Lamar Jackson there, one of the most athletic people in the league lately.
And you can't keep free agents or people you drafted.
Got Jim Harbaugh, a veteran quarterback. Or John Harbaugh. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, well, let's round out the top 32 with Tampa Bay's pick. Does it go Ion?
Yeah, I believe so.
Tyron. Go Tyron. I suck at reading. He's an edge rusher out of Washington.
I really do like this pick because you're pairing him back with Vita Vea. And Vita Vea, they picked up the 5th-year option for him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a really good edge rusher. Didn't have the protection that you'd want to see out of Washington. Didn't necessarily have all of the skills I want to see. Speed, the pass rush move. But that is what coaching is for. That is what development is for. This guy can be very good if he's coached right. A lot of people liken the Jason Pierre-Paul. Came out in 2011, who we'd probably be replacing. JP moves on. This is a good lot. He's lengthy. He's very lengthy.
I mean, it's solid. Tampa Bay got pretty much their whole team back.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did very well last year. You know, they made the run towards the end. They were kind of touch and go here.
Yeah, they were 7-5 at one point, and they won 7 straight.
Yeah, the defense just stood up. I mean, that defense won them. Like not even just the Super Bowl because they shut down Patty Mahomes.
I said back in 2014, gotta look out for Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett was disruptive in Denver.
Yeah,
that guy, everything you want to see pass rush. Look at Shaq Barrett.
I mean, I don't want to see Tom Brady win again, but I'm kind of turning the heel on Tom Brady. I really did not like him in New England, but once he's changed over and switched over, to the dark side, getting down to Florida,
It's
kind of
New England's
whatever.
New England's dark side.
I mean,
It's Boston.
yeah, but fuck. I mean, he's kind of in my favor here a little bit. I mean, they're one of the top teams to kind of projected to win it. I mean, I was looking at the Super Bowl matchup. I was like, why is everyone counting? Like, why? I don't understand why Kansas City was favored as high as they were.
Yeah.
Because looking at that team, like, fuck it's. But that was just I mean, Paul's magical mind breaking down players.
I don't know. It's magical.
Well, we just wanted to start an episode with this football podcast, which we're gonna get the name correct, pronouncing it the first time, hopefully.
Maybe.
But we're gonna
Probably
so August 1st, I believe we're gonna drop our first episode, and from then on, throughout the whole season until the Super Bowl is over, and then right after the Super Bowl, I guess, or I don't know how it'll work. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna drop a weekly episode.
Yeah.
for fantasy / just football talk.
I'm sorry, I'm really tired.
Jesus, stop fucking yawning. But thank you for joining us on this podcast. You can also join us on the Crack Fest of Patrick and Cerebral Palsy. That's our other. Yeah. That's why I have them on right now.
Shorts?
I don't want to stand up because I might poop because I have to poop so bad.
But
yeah. So we might release a few episodes between here and August 1st. But August 1st, we're gonna start talking fantasy talk, just general football talk. If any big news happens, we might hit those stories here a little bit. But yeah, August 1st, keep on the lookout. We're gonna drop some fantasy / just NFL knowledge on you, and we're gonna give our draft stuff, and we're not gonna give too much away, hopefully, because the people in our league, we don't want them to steal our people. Yeah, but yeah, we'll have some fun stuff coming up. But just yeah, thank you guys for listening if you do, and yeah, I just farted there.
Jesus,
I have to poop, Paul.
Jesus,
I have to poop. All right, thank you guys, much appreciated. Paul, any departing words you'd like to say?
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty, mate.